trout rods, salmon rods, striper rods, halibut rods, downrigger rods, lead core rods, spinning rods, and more. If you want a high quality, high performance rod that won't let you down out on the water, go to fishhuntshoot.com and check out our selection of high quality, high performance fishing rods. Howdy guys, Cal Kellogg here. It is nighttime. I am in my Suburban. It has been a long day. It is time for another installment of Cal Kellogg Unfiltered. Let me give you a little recap of the day to start with. I drove from my house to Lake Almanor at dark 30. Got there at daylight. Got skunked hard. Talked to some locals. They said, man, the fishing was great before we had a bunch of north wind and it got the water all muddy, which I did notice the water was off color. Long story short, I got one grab, caught no fish, and when I talked to the locals, I decided I'm heading over to Lake Davis. So I made the drive over to Davis. Took me about an hour and 45 minutes or so. Ate dinner, grabbed a campsite, and I am now inside the Suburban. It is pitch dark outside. It's going to be a cold night. There's only one other guy here in the campground. And what better time than now to tell you my first-hand experience with a genuine, real, unidentified flying object. And it's actually kind of cool. You might hear my phone go beep, beep. I've been texting with my cousin Tom. He'll know where this spot I'm about to describe this area is. We're trying to put together an Idaho deer hunt. So we're going back and forth on that. But anyway, this story takes place when I'm a little guy. I'm with my dad. And here's the background. This happened on Highway 36 northeast of Red Bluff, California. From 1971 until about 2000, we were part of a deer club there on the South Fork of Battle Creek. Our property bordered Battle Creek. We had up to at its peak, we had about 11 square miles of cattle country that we leased. Our club only had about 60 members. And there might be 25 or 30 members on the property at any given time. So there was a ton of elbow room. And we just didn't have the property for deer season. We had the property all year long. We had full access. And man, I shot a lot of deer there. I had a lot of fun there. It was a blast. I lived out there one time when I got out of college for 30 days by myself. It was absolutely fantastic. But back then, and this is one of the things that makes me believe in climate change. I don't want to get in a debate about that, but back then, back in the 70s and 80s, and I'm a little guy when this story takes place. I'm probably about 10 years old. It would rain a bunch in October. You know, we'd get rain gear. It was a big deal because we knew we were going to get rained on. You know, now it seems like you're lucky if you get a storm during deer season. Back then, it seemed like we were getting rained on every single weekend. My dad was a union carpenter, and he would get off on Fridays. So whenever he got off on a Friday, we would make a 3-day weekend of it during the deer season. We'd get out and hunt hard. Up above the property, there's a little road that went off of Highway 36 called Canyon View Loop. It's a little restaurant owned by a guy named Bill Elliott. He's long since passed. And my dad actually did a remodel on the restaurant and really expanded it, put in all these big windows. You had great view out over Battle Creek Canyon, and it's a private residence now, but back then it was a restaurant. So here comes the story. That's kind of the background. So Dad and I, we'd been out hunting all day in the rain, and my dad had a 1977 Toyota pickup with a camper, and I was a little guy, so we would both get into the camper shell. We'd sleep in there and whatnot, and we had a camp stove and all that stuff. But since we'd been out in the rain all day, Dad was like, let's just go to the restaurant and get some warm food. So we shot up there, we ate dinner. So it's, it's evening time. It's probably 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It's Friday night. It's been raining. It's not raining at the time that this happened, but the road is wet and all that. So we left the restaurant and we were heading back down to our camp. And we had just passed the 3,000-foot elevation sign, which was kind of the top end of our property. So it was something that we noticed, And this stretch of the road is very straight. It's very wide. It's wide open. There's nothing hanging over the road. The trees are cut back, the whole deal. Not a lot of people up there. Then no other cars on the road. And we're driving along. Dad's a safe driver, so he's probably going 45 miles an hour. The road's wet and whatever. And we see something hanging or hovering over the road. It's it's not moving. We're moving towards it. My dad takes his foot off the gas, and now we're coasting. And this thing is clearly 30, 35, 40 feet off the road. And it's as wide as the road. And Dad's going slower and slower, and Dad's looking at it. And I'm in the passenger seat, of course. And I mean, I've got my face right up against the windshield, and I'm looking up through the top of the windshield, and it passes. We pass underneath it. It goes over us. Here's what it looked like. Picture bananas or flatfish, that curved shape. There's 3 of those, okay? And this is in a triangular formation, approximately as wide as the road, okay? There's the lead one, and then, there's 2 behind that in a triangular formation. And these things clearly have ribs on them. They're tannish gray. They're big. They're 8, 10 feet long, maybe 6 feet long. They're big. There's nothing to measure them against, but clearly they're big. And they're probably a couple feet around. Big. No lights, no propulsion, no nothing. They're just up there, okay? And between these 3 things, there's 2, for lack of a better description, lines that go back from the lead object. One goes to the object on the right side, and one goes back to the object on the left side. And between those 2 rear objects, there's a line hanging between those as well. And I know it's a line because I can see the belly in it. And it's big. It reminded me of those ropes that you used to see in a bank where they would, form the lines. You'd have like that velvet kind of rope, except these were light colored, but they were substantial like that. And clearly they were lines. They had a belly in them between the front object and the 2 back objects, and between the 2 back objects, there's a belly in that line too. Again, thing wasn't moving. It wasn't being propelled. There were no lights, no sound, no nothing. It was over the road, and I saw it. I saw it good. It was real. It was solid. I saw it. I saw it really good. I could see it right now. I'll draw a picture and hold it up here on the screen when I get home, just so you can kind of see my artist rendition of what I saw. My dad saw it too. He saw the exact same thing I saw. So no sooner had we passed underneath it, Dad starts slowing down. There's no other cars on the road. And he whips the truck around. It's gone. It is gone. There was no sign of it. We never saw anything like it again. We mentioned it to some people that, in and around our hunt club. They'd never seen anything like it. I've never heard of anything like it. And I've racked my mind as to what that might have been. Was it some kind of meteorological stuff that was forced down by the storm? Was it like a weather balloon? I don't know what it was. Now, I don't know if there was anything solid above what I saw. It was a stormy night. There were no stars. There was no nothing like that. I don't know if there was just air between those objects or there was something else above that. I have no idea. I don't know that it was aliens. I don't know that it wasn't aliens. It was weird. It was weird times 10. I saw it, I remember it, never seen nor heard of anything like it. So that was my first experience with a genuine, unidentified, floating object. Weird, very, very weird. So anyway, kind of a creepy story to be telling out here in the woods in the dark, but I am locked in my Suburban, so if any aliens want to abduct me, they're going to have to cut me out of here like I'm a sardine in a can, and of course, I have the clock too, but I'm pretty sure if they flew here from another dimension or whatever, they probably can deal with that pretty easily. So anyway, I'm hoping to get up in the morning and abduct some trout out of Lake Davis here. I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. And remember, I'm going to be doing a new installment in Kellogg Unfiltered every Sunday. So this will air next Sunday. And I'll have something weird and interesting or just maybe adventurous to talk about the following Sunday. I've had a few experiences like this. I've had buddies that have had experiences like this. And I'm interested in some other subjects too. We're not just going to be talking about aliens, but I'm kind of on an alien rampage right now. Anyway, I'm signing off. If you want some trout gear that you can go abduct trout with, go on over to fishhuntshoot.com. Check out my store. I will see you here on YouTube real soon. You have a wonderful day. I am signing off. I'm going to get some shut-eye. I'm going to text back to my cousin here and see if we can kind of start finalizing our plans for our upcoming hunt, which is like a year from now. But hey, we need to get on it. So anyway, I'm Kel Kellogg. I will catch you later.